Attention gamers. Dictionary Rav here to slap you with some wisdom. A booger is something you collect when running the GRASP rune to permanently upgrade the green ween above your head. Let's use this word in a sentence. I just slurped the fattest booger from Tiny Einstein's midget-ass nose, and the loyal Eskimos in this igloo know that I have been conducting an experiment to find every ADC that benefits from a constant consumption of mucus. But then I saw this.
And let me show you what rune page I'm running. Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom! Did you see that? I just stole a booger from his nostrils and now it's mine.
And I also saw a bunch of people in the comments identifying the source of such a big-ass brained idea. So the question is, did BunnyFufuu steal Rav's idea? And here are my thoughts. First, my 160,000 subscribers have only existed for a few months, and Bunny Nuts had run GRASP a long time ago, back when Corona was nothing more than a beer. And it's also common for YouTubers to try out each other's builds. For example, the one-shot Caitlyn alt build that resulted in these optical orgasms I got from Red Mercy, the guy who talks about peeing in his tweets. So do I find this man guilty of stealing my idea? No, but he did steal my line.
I stole a booger from his nostrils and now it's mine.
So as revenge I figured I would copy the idea back from his video.
The only thing that can kill tanks is Vayne. So if I pick Vayne and I become a tank, it's impossible for me to die. Wow.
I started to record some footage on Tanky Tumble Tits here, but while it was fun being able to have a tank off with Tentacle Tina, I didn't want to copy him exactly. So I decided to slap the antlers on this caterpillar chode because he has an ability that looks like he's going to third base with a carrot, and it makes him a tank killer as well. And wanna know how it went? Terrible. The most value I had every fight was after my caterpillar ass was already dead, but I persisted on the unwinnable worm shitter to bring you some content. But if you are excited to see the 2 games out of 600 that I didn't feed my insect ass off for this video, please run your dead Kogmaw ass onto that upward thumb until you pop, and let's get into the gameplay. Okay, I will give you a quick nip flash of the runes, and if you want to be an inting insect like Rav you can try them out, but just know that you always have to buy the purple sword and forget to use it 99% of the time to be like me. The game starts with Ricky the Reaper planting little explosive M&Ms under my Rudolph the Red-Nosed turret hugging ass until my jungler decides to take her roided up guinea pig for a walk by riding it in for a gank. She pulls its tail to charge at Ricky, forcing the flash out of that floating freak. Then I puke on the archer and steal one of her boogers. I let her tickle the scarecrow a few times before healing his ass at the last second to defend my title of the masturbator before we take home first blood. We retreat to get away from the mob of pissed off hooded midgets as Fiddle does a whop and Peggy and her pet Poro start backing in the bush. But this caterpillar sees right through the pathetic attempt of the floating wheat farmer to intimidate me, but I know that M&Ms cost mana and he has none, so I charge in to take him down. Then I kite away from the time-traveling teenager and steal some mucus from that mohawk before puking on his shoes to send him away. A few minutes later and we have the Reaper just one toxic spitball from death, which distracts my dumbass away from my mini-map long enough to not see that we are getting ganked. Turns out while I didn't see my mini-map, my support didn't see anything on his monitor, resulting in a balls-deep scarecrow and leaving me to deal with Tucker time tits myself. I go hyperbolemic, sending him running as the giant gerbil comes back to tell Legolas's wife to piss off. Echo goes dashy dick on me, but I spit on him before he can take me down. Then Peggy's pet Poro wants to lick an ash hole, so they chase until she gets away. But I just got my ult and I am ready to go Rudolph the Red-Nosed Snot Rocket Reindeer on that hoe for the kill. Fiddle asks me to go masturbating again so he can play a quick game of surprise you a dead bitch, and then my vomit scares the flash off that ash and the 2 supports decide to go to the scythe store together, so they both peace out. I stopped by mid to ask these midgets if they think my antler headband makes me look like a real reindeer when Tucker goes dashy dick to paralyze me, but my jungle gerbil comes to save the day as I wake up, throw up, and do nothing useful at all to take him down. Then our jungler is trying to breed her juiced up guinea pig with a dragon, so we are working hard to give them privacy as Tarzan's wife comes dashing out of her smoky donut only to get feared and spit on till she dies. I see Ricky the Reaper mid, and the sight of him murdering my innocent midgets makes me so sick that I puke and then chase him down to avenge that hooded Henry's 2-minute life on this rift. I shoot some sky saliva at him and walk through the mist zone as I play a game of follow the floater until the bitch surprise exhausts me, turning this careless caterpillar into an inting insect, but I take him down before spitting on the pissy plant and eating an M&M as my last supper. My mid laner catches a pink ash hole out in the wild and stuns her, but then runs into an alligator wielding a giant flight attendant badge as his murder weapon, which forces me to activate rapid fire spit shitter to become the first caterpillar in the history of the animal kingdom to kill a crocodile before me and Legolas's wife end a right-click battle in a tie. I see a fight break out near Chicken Coop, and my contribution to the fight consists of getting hit by that ash arrow that all 8 other people seem to dodge before I even get to the action. Then I launch some spit from the sky to weaken the wheat farmer before helping my team tame the angry alligator. Syndra stuns the archer and then pelts her with a few dodgeballs before she goes down. But this ruthless reindeer didn't forget about Ricky as I run up top like a menace and spit straight up into the sky to send the hiding hoe bag back to the graveyard. Then Tarzan's wife appears mid, which is perfect because me and my homies needed a 4th to play charades, but she declines and tiptoe sprints off until we finally convince her to play. Her word is trophy, but we decide that charades isn't fun anymore and choose to commit homicide instead. The alligator is back and desperately trying to prove that his species is higher on the food chain than caterpillars, but my teammates come in to tell him that no one gives a shit about animal kingdom hierarchy after like 7th grade science class. Then the rodent rider ties a towel around 2 ice cubes and chucks it at the floating fail montage, allowing us to lay a coordinated burst on his booty. My team gives Ricky the trophy charades card from earlier to see if he can do any better as I come in to judge just in time to spigot him out of my sight. We get in a standoff by the jungle, which ends when Syndra bowls a strike on 2 of them and Sejuani pulls her hamster's tail to charge in as I do a timely sky spit to knock them both out. Then the cranky crocodile is back and I actually remember to use the active on my blade, which lets me kite just far enough away for the idiot to stop focusing me before I leave the yordle that just went through puberty to finish him off. This prompts a surrender and I just experienced my first game of not getting kicked in the caterpillar balls on this underpowered insect, and so I decided to queue up another game to see if this worm can win again. Game 2 started in a way that gave this useless champion the best possible chance of evolving into a red-nosed butterfly when I flashed to nab first blood on the goat, and then I meticulously timed a kill steal on that BMO booty to lock in a total of 7 hundo coins before the first wave of hooded midget employees even began their shifts. But the lead was hard to hold when I constantly had to bail out the sped skeleton that was supposed to be my support by repetitively having to throw my chubby caterpillar body in the line of fire to body block all the hate in the world from taking him down. A few minutes later and I just finished spitting on Valentine Vane enough times that she had to go home to shower, but I felt like something was up when Mr. Solo Lane Sideburns still felt confident enough to hang with the boys, and sure enough I get a notification that someone would like to send me a Valentine. Bam, surprise, the hot dime piece demon pops out as I try hard to not focus on that fine ass long enough to kill Goat Boy as Thresh hooks an irrelevant minion in the background, and then I give the seducing scorpion some of my spit to make her want to come back later. Then, like a possessed soul, Lantern Larry blindly runs toward the unwarded bush, which results in him politely being asked to jump. He hooks Mr. Tomness but gets stapled to the wall as Rakan oils his body and rubs it all over me to distract me, and 2 Chains comes in to save the day. Valentine Vane is a vagina, so she flees, but we burst the goat and I spit on him for the kill. A minute later and Rakan decides to lube up and rub his nuts on us again, which is somehow effectively charming until Thresh hooks Gosu and I activate rapid fire regurgitator and spit on her till she dies. At this point I am as fed as I will ever be on this chubby cuck of a champion until Edward Scissorhands enters the picture and draws an X on my defenseless insect body, which kills me, but I make sure to plant my dead exploding carcass on his ass to take him down with me. Then me and Hades are doing a quick river walk, but I heard there's a virus going around, so I try to keep my distance until the horny goat flashes in and demands I jump. Then of course Mr. Shadow Slits is back to draw more X's on me, but I paint myself gold this time until the gargoyle ground pounds into the fight and I flash out. I launch a few long-range loogies at Rakan to send him to bed, and then the stealthy scorpion sneaks into my DMs to tell me that she gets off on stinging people with her pigtails, which is too far for me. But I am determined to rub my dead caterpillar balls on her for revenge. I push mid ready to slobber on this statue, but Eve still has a crush on me and is determined to give me a Valentine, so I run over to the boys to pretend I am too busy to hang, causing her to die of embarrassment before we send Mr. Tomness back to Narnia. Then I get in an awkward game of Marco Polo over the wall with the hobbling bumblebee, but the joke is on him because that shit is warded, so I spit a few times and then Skybeam us not rocket for the kill. The game ends with me launching some mouth mucus at the little bumblebee and then edging with the fountain tower as we take down Valentine Vane and collect RV for the boys. And that concludes my saga of trying to make GRASP work on this underwhelming worm of a champion. Maybe I will try AP next time. Shout out to all the loyal snow boys and snow girls in this igloo. You guys clicking that upward thumb shows the big brother of YouTube that we are coming to take over and eat its babies. Also huge thanks to the people on Patreon supporting my efforts in keeping the quality of these videos high so that I can fail on 20 games with Kogmaw before getting a few that are acceptable enough to show you. Brush your teeth tonight, Rav out.